What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So, looking like a big bloated impact today. Shit. Let me hide my face. No, so I got like 4 shirts on, which is really stupid. And I'm like, it's like pushing everything up. That's no excuse. I'm just fat. But I'm at the gym, which is a start. I'm getting ready to go in and deadlift. Hopefully, knocking on wood, that they let me in with my barbell again. So, I want to talk about something today that I think is really important, that a lot of people get overwhelmed with or think you need something crazy with. And it is restoring your civil rights. Now, this is going to be specifically in Arizona. Restoring your civil rights and restoring your rights to bear arms or hold a firearm or whatever. This probably goes for other states too, I would imagine. I'm not going to say across the board because I don't know. This isn't like about like the legalities of anything or anything like that. But this is kind of just some information that I think might be pretty beneficial to a lot of people. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you something that you need to make sure that you do no matter what before you start the process, because it could completely screw up the whole thing. So the first thing that you're going to check on is, now this is going to be legalities specifically with Arizona. If this is your first felony and you don't have any prior felonies and it's not like dangerous felony or anything like that, it could be like drugs or stolen property or all kinds of things or whatever. If it's some of those things and not like assault and different things or whatever, then 60 days after your probation and you're like off of everything and everything's paid up or whatever, a lot of the times they will like completely reinstate your civil rights, so you'll automatically get them restored. So check first, because that might be what's happening, if that makes sense. They might just automatically restore and you might think that you don't have them or something like that. So, sorry, my voice is kind of screwed up, but this time I think it's because I have a sore throat. The next thing you want to do is go to the court office. Like for here, it's going to be Superior Court, and make sure they have a current address, because chances are if your charges were like 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 15 years ago or even longer or whatever, you've probably switched addresses and the court doesn't have your current home address. And that's where they're going to send documents to. It's not email, it's not calling you, it's not text. You would think they would be that sophisticated, but they're not, which is really strange, but whatever. So make sure you officially change it and get proof of that change. So by, bringing in your ID and showing them the new address and stuff like that, and change it with the courts. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to petition and I don't remember the exact form, but if you just ask for a form to restore rights, basically, as soon as you do that, they're going to give you a form. You're going to fill it out. What I did was I actually went online and printed mine out. You can mail it in, but I personally don't like that because it could get lost in the mail. You know how that shit works. So I printed mine out and made sure I filled it all out. It's like 2-3 pages. It's not very long. Just be really clear about exactly where you live, exactly what your charges were. Your case number has to be proper and written on there exact. And then after that point, I would physically take it down to the courthouse, and that's what I did. Now, they say between 30 and 60 days that they're going to find the case. Now, my case, I filed it here in Mesa, and then my case was held in Phoenix. So I had to go to the Mesa court, but I had to go to like this special room to file it, have it sent to Phoenix, to have it filed with them. It was kind of a weird process or whatever. Now, that being said, Once that happened, you can check your status or whatever, just like you would check the status of like your charges or whatever. You can check your status to constantly try to see if there was any minute entries or if it was accepted or if it was approved or whatever and stuff like that. And I kept checking it for probably 60 days. And I called finally and I talked to like the clerk of the court, like the lady that runs the kind of like the secretary for the judge. And she said that it could take 120 days. They had till I filed it in like January. She was like, we have till like April 6th or something like that to file it. And I was like, holy shit. They're really quick to charge you with stuff, but they're really long to give it back. Now, after that, you're just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I saw something entry around early April, and I was like, you know what? I don't exactly know what that means. I'm not taking any chances. So I called her, and she goes, huh. She goes, well, I guess you got approved. It got reinstated. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, my rights got reinstated? This got reinstated? And she was like, yeah, you got approved. And I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. And I was like, can I get a document about that or something? Because I'm not taking any fucking chances. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not playing games with the courts and stuff like that or whatever. So she said, yeah, within a couple days, you'll be getting a certified copy of it. Now, remember I told you that you got to be careful about something? The thing that you have to be careful about is if you owe probation or any restitution or anything like that for the case. About 12, I don't know, maybe 8 or 12 years ago, I applied then to get them reinstated. And apparently they reached out, but I had moved. And the reason I didn't get approved, or the reason they didn't even see the case, was because I owed my last month of probation, which was a whopping fucking $60. But nobody ever told me about it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, it was a really weird case and stuff. So, that being said, as this process started, I paid it immediately, and I wanted to get that out of there or whatever and stuff like that. Now, why I'm telling you guys this stuff is because this can cost you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 with a fucking lawyer, and it's absolute shit. Like, they don't fucking do anything for you. Like, and I'm not saying like if you got the money, maybe it's worth it to you just to pay it and forget it. But it was like a whopping like 3 trips to Superior Court, which was maybe an hour of time total. I didn't like have to go to a court. I didn't have to take time off work. It was just like kind of like pop in there, do this, pop in there, do that, pop in there, do this, done, and then just wait. And I feel like no matter what you're doing, you're going to fucking wait. Like, they're going to make you wait no matter what, no matter who's doing your case. And I do know people that have paid $5,000, $7,000 to get their shit reinstated. And they're all doing it for this simple piece of paper right here. This simple piece of paper literally says that based on the information presented to the court, finds the prosecutor has received a copy of the application to restore civil rights and or right to possess own a firearm, and the box check is the defendant has met all of the statutory requirements for the application to restore civil rights and possess or own a firearm. It is ordered that granting the application restore civil rights and to possess or own a firearm. That's all you're going for. Just make sure you get this certified copy. And this happened, it's been, I don't know, maybe 3 months, maybe longer. And I still have not bought a firearm because I'm like paranoid. I've looked, I'm like, oh, cool, you know, but I have not physically touched anything. I'm still like traumatized from it. And I'm big on like, if I wasn't allowed to do it, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and people will tell you other ways, and it's like, no, man, don't listen to that. Like, if you don't want to charge like that, like, be careful, like, be smart, be intelligent. It is not worth going bang, bang to be able to, you know, go to prison or something like that. So, to me, it was not. But in the future, I'll probably get one for, like, home defense because it is America. Everybody's got something. and I don't know what I'm going to do with a stick or something if somebody comes and tries to hurt me in my house. And that was the main driving force, because eventually I want to own property and like a cabin or something, so I might be out in the middle of nowhere, protect myself against home invasions or animals or anything like that, to be able to protect myself. So I hope that information helped you. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. It's been a long overdue video. I should have made that months ago. I was making videos about the whole process, but then I just figured I would make it as soon as I got approved. But save your money, dude. Like, save your money. And honestly, it's a sense of accomplishment. I don't want to vote. I got no fucking want in the world to vote. But if I did want to, it'd be cool that I can now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I accomplished something and I'm doing better again, if that makes sense. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. And if you want, share your story below. Thanks.